Okay, hey guys, welcome to LDM. Today I'm going to show you something new. I picked up a game recently. I just did a first impressions called Fate of the Norns, which is incredible and I love it. And I'm going to be trying to make a character here. So you can see here already on Roll20 I've made a little character sheet, or I've pasted one in. And I'm just going to run through character creation. So level is going to be level 8. That's going to be the starting level for the party. And that is the combination of a character's essence and destiny. Now you're looking at this and you're seeing 4 and 2 and you're saying that doesn't add up. Each point of destiny costs 2 points. So essence is like the totality of the character, everything that they are, all of the stuff that makes them up. So like their hit points, their strength, and their wisdom, and all of their stats roll into one, everything about them. But their destiny is how much they can affect the world that they live in. And mechanically these are, essence is how many runes you have in the bag, destiny is how many you draw each turn. So how many actions you take. So I've divided them 4 and 2. So once you've done that and you decided all that stuff, you'll be getting or drawing your runes from a bag. Now I don't have the runes at the moment, but I have created this handy little deck here in Roll20. Now I'm very new to Roll20, but I think it's pretty nifty so far. I'm going to deal myself some cards. So because I have 4 essence, I get 4 runes. So we'll deal them to me. Bam. Okay, there you go. So these are our runes that we have to start with. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at our, this is optional, but I want to do it since I'm new to the system, is look at our personality traits. So this is in the core book here. You can have a look around different places. Depending on the rune you get, you'll pick a different thing. And there's more of these, what I mean by different places, in Denizens of the North, which has other tables. But yeah, we're going to stick with this for now. So our first rune was that one. Looks like a little bit like a cross. I don't know the names yet, unfortunately. Originator. You are creative and develop many new ideas that are most likely worth pursuing. You tend to neglect repetitive tasks and favor new and untested approaches. Cool. So I would mark that down, which I'm going to do. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, we have this little squiggly guy. That's going to be for our motivation and ambitions. Joy of life. Life should be spent enjoying the finer pleasures. It's important to avoid boring and repetitive work. Okay, that's good. That lines up with what we had already. Then we go to our social standing, which is this lightning bolt looking guy. Okay, lightning bolt. City bureaucrat. Working for the local town has been a pleasure for many years. However, now that the town has come upon hard times, people blame you for the difficulties they face. Corruption has also taken on new levels, as town officials are looking out for themselves. You start with admin gear and 400 scat. So scat is the money in Fate of the Norns, and admin gear is the gear you'll get. So it'll show you at the end of this chapter the kind of gear you'll get. So admin gear, a landowner's deed, large comfortable home, all items that will be found in a more luxurious lifestyle, a dozen slaves or fewer for menial work. Cool. I mean, not ideal adventurers gear, but it's pretty nifty. And then we go to our final rune, which is this guy, green fella. So then we're going to go to social connections, and green. Okay, it does. Oh, here we go. Setkona. So we are friends with a witch who deals in the magic of the unseen spirit world, good for consultations. Okay, so that's not something you have to do every time you make a character, but it's something that can kind of add a lot of the flavor if you're new to the setting and stuff like that, so I would recommend it. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to select your archetype. Now I've chosen Galdor already. Galdor are like warriors who use runes, sort of rune smiths, sorcerer kind of people. So what we're going to do, I'll close this for a second, we're going to first of all go to our active powers. So this is super cool. This is the way that you do powers, or you get powers when you're making a character. We have these runes here. We have to start here at the center, and we can build out from it. You cannot go diagonally. So I'm going to take this mind rune, I'm going to put it on Thundering Blow. No, I would like to select. Thank you. Move this into Thundering Blow. Thundering Blow is an attack that knocks back your enemy, which I think is suiting for somebody who is imbuing themselves and their weapons with runes. I think it sounds good. Then the other one that I will take is Aggressive Assault. Bam. Which gives you extra damage and knockback. Then I would go for it's kind of a tough call. Now, obviously, you need to look up all of these powers. I'm not too familiar with all of them, but I think what I'll go with is Rapid Recovery, which lets you heal yourself or an ally, and then I'll take Power Over Wind. Power Over Wind lets you summon this big gust of wind that knocks a bunch of people back and does a ton of damage to them. So that seems to make sense for me. So I'm writing down these powers. Now those are your active skills. So if you have your character sheet, which I'll show you here, so you would have, oh, this is the wrong character sheet, right? You'd have a different character sheet with a bunch of different slots in it for, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's in here at the bottom. Okay, this character sheet. So you would, this is your essence, this is where your runes are. You would draw one of your runes in hand, and then you would play them, put them in here for in play, to do a general action, which would be like running, jumping, climbing, punching someone, something similar. Or if you have the rune for the power, you can use the power. So, for example, let's say we draw this green rune. That means we can use Power Over Wind if we put it into the active slot. Cool, so that's that done. Now I'm going to take these back because we're going to need them on the next set of skills. So we've done our active powers, now we go to passive powers. Another works exactly the same way. Another selection of stuff that we can go through. I got some notes. So let's start again. Now I'm going to start with Explosive Rune because it rocks. It does extra damage, extra knockback. I want this guy to feel powerful, right? So every time he hits something, it knows about it, and everyone knows about it. It's just smashing stuff all over the place. That's the feeling I want for this guy. Now, from here we have all of these cool options, and we still have all of these options. I'm going to take, I want this guy to be good at runes, so I'm going to take Rune of Blood, which just sounds like a metal album. And that is every upkeep phase, you get to do something. So upkeep comes before everyone does their actions in upkeep phase. And some of the powers trigger in the upkeep phase. So this one lets you heal 3 and recover, heal 3 someone else and recover 4 on yourself, which is super handy, gets your runes back. Very, very useful. So I think anything that activates in the upkeep phase is quite useful. So then we have quite a large selection here. What are we going to go for? I think I'm going to go with Rune of Retribution, which also rocks. It's the one that lets you, when you get attacked, you the rune strikes that person for a little bit of damage, which is always handy. And then finally, I think it'll be Rune of Shielding. The Rune of Shielding will give you shield, armor, which is always handy because you'll always hit in this game. So you do an attack and it hits, and then the question is how much armor it penetrates. So the more armor you have, the tougher you have, but then enemies might have extra piercing on their attacks. So yeah, so okay, I'm happy with that. We'll take those, and we're actually nearly done with the character. We got one more, which is the skills. So these are like your skills in D&D or Numenera or any other system, and we do the same thing again. So let's start. This guy is obviously powerful, but I think I want him to be a bit of a chatty man, a bit of a sort of face character. I'm going to give him negotiation. so he can kind of fast talk and talk his way out of stuff. Etiquette, super important in this game, is knowing how to talk to people, knowing the right titles to address people by, knowing what's okay to say and what's not. So we'll definitely go for that. And then a couple of options. I think Omen's Importance are going to be a good option. I think that's always a good option in a setting that's so involved with like ravens landing on trees and you see an owl, that means someone's going to betray you, stuff like that. I think that's really useful. And then we'll go with, I think read and write. This guy obviously can read runes, so I think it's important that he knows how to read and write. Okay, so that's pretty much all of it done. There's one more thing to do, and that is to select your subclass. Not too far. So somewhere within this book, the Gelder dwells. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So when you choose a class, you get these three options, right? And they, you have this void rune, a Gununga Gap rune, and you bind it to one of the three, either physical, mental, or spiritual. So they have different meanings, and you can see here three different kinds of Galder that exists. Now, looking at the stuff that we have, I think that we're going to go mental, sorcerer. They try to create a perfect storm. Runic apex flashes as lightning, momentary, beautiful, and striking through us. They live for the glorious moment when they become the instantaneous conduits of the runic source. So we're going to go sorcerer, which will give us another active skill, a passive skill, an active power, a passive power, and a skill. So it'll give us these three. I'll write those down in my character sheet as well. And then there's just equipment to do, which is not very complicated. So we got what we, where the hell was it? Yeah, so we have our administrator's gear. Now with the money that we have from our background, 400 scat, we can go to the equipment section and we can buy equipment. I'm not going to do that now, it'll take forever, or longer than I want to spend doing it in a video. So it says here, you can use your scat and purchase equipment such as weapons, armor, and other necessities, page 299. I'll just show you what the page looks like, because there's a really cool little drawing of the equipment. Well, that's not correct. Okay, here we go. So yeah, they have, which I think is cool, instead of having like a table or whatever, they just have like a drawing of all the items and their worth in scat, and they have tables here. So let's see, just briefly, I would probably buy a medium-sized weapon for this guy, something minor like a hand axe maybe. Large-sized weapons, you have to have a physical rune to use them. So our guy actually doesn't have any physical runes, so he won't be using a large weapon. You could get some armor, and then there's other stuff, mounts, livestock even, provisions, you can get boats and stuff, so yeah. Anyway, that is how you would make a character. I hope it made sense. It was a bit rambly, but that's my first attempt at doing it. I'm going to do it like much more careful step-by-step video at some stage, but I hope that this helps anyone who's trying to get into the system. Obviously you need the books, so I would invest if I were you. It looks great, and I'm really excited to start running it. I'm going to be running a game on the 22nd of May, and hopefully a couple of games before that as well. So, yep, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you think.